Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. If I haven't seen you in a while, hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Hope you're warmer than us here in Highlands. Wanted to send out this update video for our capital campaign. It's a little late in coming. I know I was looking forward to January 9th, which was supposed to give us a lot of good, helpful information. And that date did come. We did have a good meeting, but I got really sick actually afterwards. I've been sick all week, finally starting to feel better. And it was a good meeting, helpful meeting, but even more information, very helpful information will come out on January 23rd. So, but I didn't want to wait until after that meeting. I want to go ahead and send out this update here and now. And I will be sending out at the very least a monthly update henceforth, unless something important or urgent comes up. And of course, I'll send something out sooner. So at any rate, here we go. This is what's going on. So as you may recall, we've been seeking conditional rezoning because the current town ordinance, should we build our building, would require that we would add over 50 spaces that ultimately we wouldn't use. And so at first we were seeking a variance for that. The town was not terribly interested in going that route, but rather a conditional rezoning to be B1 or conditional rezone for B1. And so that would eliminate that parking requirement, giving the flexibility that we would need to provide the parking that we think is needed without having to go overboard by 50 spaces. So on December 13th, we had a very good meeting with the town's zoning board, which unanimously approved a recommendation to the town's board of commissioners to approve our rezoning request. And so we have a couple more meetings coming up. I think that they're going to be pretty straightforward. Our next meeting is January 22nd. It's the town's planning board. And so we encourage folks to come out at 5:30 at the community building to show their support. But then there'll be another meeting in February. I believe it's private, but it's the town board of commissioners. And then one last meeting on public rezoning meeting on March 21st. So hopefully that will all be wrapped up March 21st. And so we think it's heading in a positive direction. And so that's good news. Also, if you've been on campus the last month or so, you've noticed a number of markings, spray painting markings. That's not graffiti, but also some of our parking lot and our grass has been dug up. That's because we've had our geotechnical exploration, borings to look at the ground where the building will be, the rock, etc. And so that's nice to see evidence of things actually taking place. And so that went pretty well, pretty straightforward. We will have to add some to the budget given the rock, but nothing too terribly dramatic. So that went well. There's been a lot of work, I suppose, behind the scenes, but the architects have been keeping their schedule and producing the various documents and drawings on schedule. And so they hit the 100% design development mark last month. And so I want to share a little bit of that with you. We're not going to go through everything because you've seen the design before, but just to give you a sense of what they have been doing and the amount of detail they've been providing. So this is dated December 18th, 100% design development. The next stage, of course, would be construction documents. That'd be the final phase before construction would begin. So this is a good marker. You can get a sense the amount of details to toilets. And it's this next one. Here we go. So you can get a sense of just the amount of detail. And so, for instance, we were speaking recently about HVAC for the confessional to make sure you get fresh air when you go to confession. They've been working, of course, with various engineers who are able to weigh in on the building, and that's been pretty straightforward. Some things have to move a little bit here or there, just based on the structural needs, et cetera, but pretty straightforward. So a lot of detail. There are about 100 pages here, so we're not going to go through it all, but I did want to give you a sense of just how much the architects have been have been working. So so that is that. And so where are we now? Uh, there are a number of cost estimations throughout this process. We had one back in May, and this is being done by our contractor, Edifice, that's out of Charlotte. They did the seminary project in Charlotte. Phase one was completed back in 2020 as a $20 million project. They did a fine job, not only building a complicated building, beautiful building, but also the cost estimation there. Also, back in May, we had a second opinion done for cost estimation just to make sure we were on target. And so both firms came in at the same number. Now, back in May, we were over budget. And so we had to pause things for a little bit to get us back to budget. And basically, it's the same thing now. So we had that repricing during design development. We are over budget. And so we have to, all right, pause, get us back to budget. There's no one particular reason for it, just sort of a combination of different things. And so at any rate, that is our top priority right now. And so everybody's doing a lot of homework right now in preparation for a January 23rd meeting to see where exactly we are and what options we have. Our construction committee from our own parish, I wish we'd had like a town hall with them so you can get a sense of who they are and their backgrounds. They're very extensive and extraordinary backgrounds, but they're extremely helpful right now in being able to weigh in and show some options for us. So that's our top priority, to make sure we get back to budget ASAP, as to not to delay this very much. And so I suspect we're going to be able to get to where we need to go, just as we got back to budget originally back in May. So whether it's through further value engineering, or maybe some elements can just be postponed as a later add on, or if we need to do some simplification of design. Of course, I wouldn't want to compromise the main narrative of the building that they sold the building on. So but I want to go ahead and show you what our architects have considered in case we need to do, for instance, a reduction in square footage. And so they gave us this just as a basic idea, reducing square footage is the fastest way to bring costs down. So in case we do need to do it, this is one option. This is our current building. You'll look back here. These are the sacristies. And there are two options. One is the larger option, which of course is preferable. You always, need space for various things, or if needs be, this bay can be removed, and they end up being, small, but so whether it's a later add-on or permanent sacrifice, but that reduces square footage. But also, one other thing in consideration is how wide or narrow the building is. So this is our current building, and this is another option of a narrow building. Now, ignore the front facade. Either way, we're gonna have to keep the width of the front facade for various reasons. But the idea of bringing the rest, sort of narrowing it a little bit, and the main difference you would see essentially is the side aisles. Whereas we're kind of going through the chapels as side aisles. This would be eliminating these side aisles and pulling them inside the columns, such that where are you? Such that the side aisle would be coming inside these columns. So I don't think the seating changes actually with that, but it's just letting you. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just giving you a sense of we are looking at all options, and so we'll do what we can. One thing I can assure you is that we are squeezing every bit out of every dollar, so that's not going to waste. So lastly, on timing, you may recall that our contract envisions a schedule that would have above ground construction beginning July 1st of this year, and that would be preceded by groundwork and preceded by a groundbreaking. So at some point, I think it takes about a month to prep land. But insofar as we're paused in order to get back to budget, this is paused. So this is the top priority to get us absolutely back to budget, so that we can keep moving this thing forward. So that's where we are. Hope to have some more information in a couple weeks. Just know that we are working very hard. So thank you so much for all of your support, both financial and spiritual. So please keep up those prayers, especially the rosary, all for the glory of God and to honor his mother and ultimately to sanctify our souls. So look forward to updating you again soon. Take care, stay warm. God bless.